This week, our beautiful sun, the sun within us, our consciousness, the life, is activating gate 40 in the I Ching and Jing keys. This frequency is activating a genetic codon within our DNA that is activating our consciousness field, the theme of the life this week. The transformational path of this frequency moves from the shadow of exhaustion to the highest frequency of divine will, and it's via the path of resolve. So here we have the human design holographic body graph. So we could better understand this I Ching, this frequency from within us, from within our body. So this week, the sun activates gate 40. Gate 40 is located right here in the ego heart center, which represents our willpower, our ego, the material world, our determination, and our drive and our self-worth. So the sun, gate 40, is activating gate 37. It's Earth, its programming partner, its exact opposite frequency. The best way to understand it, the Earth is the manifestation, so what we see, and the sun is always the illumination. Now, gate 37 is located right here in the emotional solar plexus, which is our emotional awareness to gain wisdom through our emotional depths. And at the shadow, gate 37 is weakness. So together they're creating a very powerful quantum field channel. It's called the channel of community. And it's about transactions within a community. What matters here is cooperation rather than material benefit. So you want to establish a trusting relationship that operates on a basis of honor. So we have another quantum field channel right over here during this time. Saturn is in gate 63. And he's going to spend time here until the end of January. Gate 63 at the shadow is doubts, self-doubts. And Mercury, that just came out of Mercury retrograde, is in gate 4. And gate 4 is all about getting answers. Together they create a quantum field channel called the channel of logic. This energy is about creating hypotheses. It's mental pressure to search for the meaning and purpose of life through projections of patterns into the future. So empower you this week to really pay attention and observe your thoughts, your mind, and because there's pressure for mind activity this week. We live in a time of exhaustion. We live in a time of excess, and this is the dilemma of the 40th shadow. If you think back to the time when the monarchy ruled, the kings and queens, those were times where the ones in power were so self-indulgent that they ignored those on the other side of the spectrum. The gap between rich and poor became disastrous as it all came tumbling down to a bloody end. History reflects these patterns so clearly. Today, we live in a more civilized society, but the patterns are still very similar. These are times when morally questionable people often rise to power. A culture of excess breeds lack, which leads to less resources, which leads to starvation. Not just of food, but of value, which leads to exhaustion, both individually and collectively. This is something to contemplate about, collective exhaustion. We tend to think of exhaustion as an individual phenomenon, but let's extend it to the whole planet. So we're exhausting our resources, we're exhausting the fossil fuels, we're exhausting our morals, and we're exhausting our soul. So the shadow of exhaustion is not just you, it's the planet, it's our culture. The very fabric of our civilization today leaves us thirsty for meaning, for something noble. This shadow is within our community and our daily lives, and most of the time we don't realize how thirsty we really are. This gene key is a special one. It is a direct route to the divine, and that's why at the shadow it's exhaustion. Because when you cut yourself off from your source, your divinity, then you begin to die. We work to excess. We travel excessively. We think and worry excessively. We even seek excessively. We can't rest on a flower long enough to drink from its nectar. The programming partner of gate 40 is gate 37. And at the shadow, it is weakness. We are weak when we spread our energy too far and wide. And this is what happens. There's great power in focus. So for example, dedicating your energy to one spiritual teaching and going deeply into it. The 40th Gene Key is about learning not to waste your energy and time. I invite you to contemplate, look at the life. How wide do you spread your energy? Can you be that many things to that many people? How could you encompass it all? There's a ruthlessness needed to tackle this shadow. You're going to have to cut some of the deadwood out of the life. You will need to get rid of some things, some commitments. So take your time, consider it carefully. Don't rush as you contemplate. Rushing is the whole problem. So slow down and consider carefully your own energies. Let the God in you decide what is truly meaningful to the soul, to your spirit. This shadow creates a pattern in the life where we often do too much in a certain area of the life and too little in the other. And this is the sign of excess. Perhaps your work life is very fulfilling, but your relationships aren't. Perhaps you give too much time and energy to a spiritual path. Or maybe you don't give any time and energy to a spiritual path. Or maybe you don't even know what a spiritual path is. And perhaps your family are the ones that pay the price for your absence. You're the only one that's going to know where the excess lies. So when we begin the trimming of the excess in the life, things begin to be healthier and more balanced. It's like eating less. The body then breathes a sigh of relief. You're giving the body a break. The life then readjusts itself to the rhythms that it's yearning for, to be in harmony. Excess also commands our senses. We watch too much. We listen too much. We speak too much. We overwhelm our system with stimuli. We have forgotten how to do nothing. We have forgotten how to be quiet. We have forgotten how to just be simple. How often do we go in the garden and light a fire and sit by it? Maybe you don't have a garden. How often do you go swimming in a wild river? How often do you wake up early to hear the beautiful birds and their sounds? How often do you go out at night and consider the stars? How often do you sit in silence with candlelight with someone you love? Or how often do you go for a walk with no purpose? You see where I'm driving at. These are the things of the life. These are the good things in the life. The life can be filled with such things if you make room for it. So get busy trimming. Trim off the fat. It is never too late to get reborn. The 40th gift, the way to alchemize the shadow and raise the vibration, resolve. Perhaps you can begin to see how the gift of resolve works as I started covering it. It takes resolve to stay with something that feeds the soul, the spirit. You have to change your habits to habits that fuel and feed your soul, your spirit, rather than excessive behaviors that drain your soul and your spirit. Resolve is flowing with the life naturally in a balanced way in the direction it's designed to go. There is something that each of us are here to experience, create, and share that's unique to our perspective. We are here to find it, and most likely it's right in front of you. So when you finally decide to move towards it, to listen to your impulses, you'll be flooded with resolve. You will have the energy to sustain you in your task. It will not drain you, but rather uplift you from within. To do the soul's work is to be filled with life and enthusiasm. Everything will simply come to you effortlessly if you only knew how much the divine seeks us. When we sever the connection with the divine within, our higher impulses, they do everything at their disposal to get our attention to correct course, and that's why we suffer, because we're not listening. The 37th gift of equality is a mirror to the 40th gift of resolve. They are exact opposites that complement each other perfectly. Equality is about harmonizing, finding the balance in all the areas of the life. To feed the community in equal measure as you feed yourself. To feed the body and its needs as much as the soul, your spirit. To feed the inner as much as the outer, in equal parts and equal measure. To be in natural flow. This gift is about taking breaks. The breaks need to be balanced with work. Otherwise, the life is over. You have no time to enjoy its beauties. Most people work 48 weeks a year, and if they're lucky, they get to have a vacation for 4 weeks. What kind of balance is that? What kind of life is that? Of course, the opposite could be true. We just have to be conscious to our tendencies towards excess. This gift is the gift of relaxation. When we learn the art of balance, the life could be relaxing. So, what is restful for your spirit, for your soul? Meeting somebody who honors who you are? Being with your children, your animals? Doing work that you love with the people that you love? That's restful. Rest could be everywhere when you have the resolve not to give in to excess. If you have this frequency in your energetic signature, then you have the gift to inspire people. When a stressful person meets a deeply fulfilled person, a powerful exchange happens. Just make sure you're the second person and the world will begin to change. The 40th city, the highest frequency, divine will. This is a powerful frequency. If you have this frequency in a prominent location in your energetic profile, your signature, then it may suggest that in this lifetime you have the rare opportunity of transcendence. Divine will means that you need one quality: surrender. Whatever happens to you, you must surrender to it peacefully, not forcefully. If it's your dharma, your destiny to travel this far, then grace will make all the arrangements for you. Space will appear so you can go within. Support will come so you could go on this journey without distraction. You will not need to force things. They will simply appear on their own. Even a teacher may appear to guide the way. The deepest surrender that we come to in the life is that we can't choose. And that's all of 64 cities, the highest frequencies. We let go of the individual will and trust in the will of the whole. We are not the chooser. This is our alchemy, to be in the hands of a force far beyond us. The will of the whole is what we seek until we're found. When we're found, there will be no mistaking it. Divine will is all there is. I'm Parry this week to create space, get to higher awareness, notice your thoughts, feel all the sensations fully that come up in the body this week, and shine the light of awareness to any exhaustion or weakness, and feel the sensations fully in your body. And then pay attention to where you might be giving away your energy excessively. Your body might be telling you something. Be blessed.